That's because I'm buying at market price.
Yeah, if you're buying market price instead of limit, then yeah, they're gonna give you slippage. So um, that's why you have to do market.
So, would you recommend doing a limit order instead of a market order and
I
just set your stop
I,
loss and take profit after?
I do, yeah. So I get in on a limit order. I mean, because you should have the level of interest of where you want to trade. So based on your technical analysis, um, so whenever I mean, you get what I mean. Like you should want to either go short or go long at a specific level. So that's what the limit is for the market to come to you, and then you get what I mean. And then so your orders. But yeah, if you're doing market orders, okay. Here we go. Give me a second.
Somebody might hide.
Uh, let me see. Uh, okay. Yeah. So, like like I said, I do limit orders 90% of the time. Rarely will I do a market.
They sent me a message to them. I was talking to her.
Who's that?
All right. I got another question before you start too. So for the levels and stuff like that, so I still don't know all the terms, like the OBN, no, the previous, I don't know what that means.
That's
It's a few other terms, like I know it means previous value, like they, I think that was that mean. But I know where's a video that I can watch to learn all the like terms that y'all use? Because sometimes I don't.
who is that? Sorry, somebody's. Does anybody know who that is? How do you do that to get them off the? Let me see. Uh, Everybody, just go ahead and mute that person. It's yellow roses. Okay. Um, I guess everybody has to mute them individually. I just muted them right now. Yeah, so you're gonna have to learn that stuff, I guess, little by little. Uh, all that the lingo or whatever. Just like your value areas and all that kind of stuff. You'll have to learn it little by little. Uh, yeah, I mean, we talk about it a lot in the chat or whatever. So.
So it's just like if you go type of situation. It's not like a video where like what are the trading terms? Here's what you should know. Cause like I watched like a trading video online and teach you like what levels to chart and stuff like that. But I think y'all just use different terms than what I watched.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk about it here, and I've talked about it in the other videos I've done, and uh, so I mean, I can teach you, or
You should check out Catching Rockets YouTube channel. He's got a lot of that stuff on there.
yeah, Rockets has some of that stuff on there.
Stop talking.
This is probably the last actual like class live I'm gonna do on here, and I'm gonna start my I'm gonna post a new vid on my YouTube and post a link to my Discord if you guys wanna sub, whoever's interested, and I'm gonna try to do like 1 or 2 classes a week on there. more detailed, and I'm gonna take it all the way from basics, the very, very simple basics, and we're just gonna start layering it on, so you guys can, whoever's interested, so you guys can really like start to learn on your own, basically, or start to trade on your own. I'm still gonna be like, I'll be trading live on there a few days a week, and giving plays. I'll still be in Keenan's giving plays too, like I do in my tab. I'll be giving levels. But if you guys want like more detailed teachings or learnings or whatever, then that's something that you guys can do. If you're interested. If not, it's okay. I'll keep posting levels on Keenan's Discord. Just
How much would it be?
$20. 20 bucks a month. Okay, let's see here.
You on face cam?
Oh yeah, what?
You gonna do it on face cam? Like, you know when Catching Rockets does his live streams, you're gonna have to like webcam out.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that, or I can just share my screen and trade live. I've done it a few times on Keenan's thing. I mean, the only difference is you would see my face if I do face cam, but other than that, I can share my screen like I'm doing now and trade live. I've like shared like footprints and stuff. We've made money trading live too. It's just hard for me because I've got a pretty busy schedule. So like me doing this right now, it's like I'm taking time away from my kid, basically, kid and wife. All right, let's see here. So today, basically in the market, these last few days, we've been running pretty well. This gap here was pretty crazy. This was a level we had. We already had this level here, and we were rejecting it. And so this, again, if you guys have been around, listen to any of my lives or classes, this is really bullish. And if they hold this like they try to do here, I mean like they did, this is like right away full port. Just swing it. A lot of people look at gaps the wrong way. A lot of people, and I think it's because of YouTube videos, really. Most of the YouTube videos that I saw when I first started trading, which like 99% of them are dog shit, but on most of the videos that I saw when I first started trading, they all swear by the gap fill. They all, I don't know why. I don't know if it's like I don't know. I don't know why they do that. If it's like a psychological thing where people want the gap to fill. But for a long time, I was stuck in that mentality. So for a long time, when I first started trading, I would take this short here. And since I watch all those YouTube vids, and I would be like, this has got to close. And I would just take a massive loss. Like you would have if you did that. And they push that a lot on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen those videos. The majority of stuff on YouTube is kind of BS, really. Like, it's kind of funny because, like, the people that don't have many views, and this isn't, like, a law or anything, but a lot of the people that don't have a lot of views are the people that actually, like, know what they're talking about. And most people that have a shit ton of views are really just, I don't know, they're really more selling a lifestyle, and that's what people, I guess, watch their videos, why they watch their videos, but most of the stuff they teach is really not useful. But yeah, so we gapped up here. Again, on higher time frame today. Let's look at the value areas for today. So this is your SVP session volume profile. What that is. And I chart on ETH. So here we basically had a balance right here. I consider this to be somewhat of a balance. These days are kind of overlapping. This one is still in here, so you can throw this in, especially because these highs are similar to here, and the lows are too. although the value area is a little bit outside. So balances are subjective. They're never gonna. Trading is hardly ever perfect, guys. So if you guys are looking for the perfect entry or the perfect the perfect wedge or I'm hearing is somebody like recording. I'm hearing myself talk. Okay. Yeah, trading is never perfect. Like if you guys were looking for the perfect bear flag, perfect wedge, perfect rejection, that seldomly happens. I mean, it happens every once in a while, and it's great when it does. But it doesn't happen that often. I mean, every once in a while you'll get like, oh wow, that was a perfect trade or perfect entry or whatever, but that might happen like 2 out of 10 times. So yeah, so again, this doesn't line up perfectly, but we're gonna try to get stuff that is similar or around ballpark. So since we've got these similar highs here to here, I mean these are a little bit out, and then our value areas are really close here, here, and here. We're gonna go ahead and grab. We can go ahead and grab our FRVP to grab balance from here, and as you guys can see, I have my second sig here, and as you guys can see, we basically gapped up, right, and we happen to gap up right above this. We happen to gap up right above this balance. So this is a 4-day balance or 3-day balance? I didn't even grab that day. See, I didn't grab that. Okay, so it comes out to be the same. So this is like the difference is that this was a 3-day balance. Here was the second sig, and this was our 4-day balance. So you guys can play with this and kind of see, you know, what you can see or what jumps out at you. So let me see here. So yeah, this is our second sig right here. Basically, it's right here. I don't know why it changed right now that I did that. It was a little bit lower. Okay, so this is telling you guys something. And somebody's recording because I can hear myself talking again. I'm recording, by the way, so you guys, whoever, don't worry about it. I'll post it. Okay, again, so this is telling you guys something right here. If we have this level, we had this level of previous. We've got this previous. I just call these zones. I don't really even call these resistance or support, just because the way I chart my zones is if we're below it, if we're coming up to it, I'm gonna short it, and if we break above it, I'm gonna take calls. That's the way I trade. You know, a lot of people say supply and demand, or we're coming to support, we're coming to resistance. My levels are the way I trade. It's vice versa. So it could literally be resistance on one candle, and then it could become support on the next. If that makes sense.
What number is that on SPY?
On SPY, give me a second. SPY would be the gap up. So wherever we gapped up, where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Here, maybe? Was it this one? I think so. I think it had to have been this one right here. So 564-ish. I think maybe.
You think we're going to 578?
We're about to see right now. Let me let's see what's going on. I'll tell you right now. A more concrete plan. So yeah, so this is our balance, right? So this is the balance, and we had this previous resistance zone, right? Or this zone where we're coming up to it. So I'm going to short, but here we break up above it. Okay, so they gap up above it and they protect it. When they protect an area like this with the gap up, that's pretty much free money. And again, the reason that a lot of you guys won't take this trade is if you're watching those YouTube videos where they brainwash you into thinking that every single gap has to get filled. I mean, it does, right? Let's say every gap does get filled. But eventually, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not this week, hell, maybe not even this month. This will eventually get filled. But a lot of people think that it's going to get filled right away. And so here, this trade was a damn good trade with a very little very little risk on ES for you people trading futures. ES, that's the benefit of trading futures. This was the 5 o'clock open. This was a really good long trade right here. How do you do? Yeah. So okay. So here, we had these. I've got this zone here. I've got this value area high being here. I've got an LVN here. So I'm gonna draw a zone there. Does that make sense? So we've got an LVN right here on this 4-day balance. Plus we have a little bit of confluence with this one being here. Plus we have Jeremy. Plus we have these value areas being here, value area high, LVN. Somebody said, what's up with the audio? What's going on with it? Can you guys hear me all right? Yeah, somebody's recording. Yeah, you're going to have to mute somebody, I think. You muted. Who did you say you muted?
Big Philly.
Yeah, well, you guys are going to have to mute him, too, I guess. Yeah, because I was hearing it, too, and that was driving me crazy. Oh, he says it's not him. So yeah, that's a good zone to draw, Jeremy. This is one way that I'll draw a zone. So and this could be on weeklies, monthlies, different time frames. Hell, I can even do this intraday. But yeah, this was just a general zone that I had. And then if we zoom out, guys, if we zoom out of this, so we already established that was our SIG right here. This is our SIG for that balance. And again, we can go to the 3-day, and the closer you do it, the closer you guys do it, the more prevalent, the more important it is. So the closer it is to the current session that you're in, the more important. So yeah, these 3 days, this will give us our second SIG here. So we could draw a line right here. I'm just trying to show you guys how you guys can chart. Either way, and I'm sure if we go back out, here, and we look at this downtrend, right? We look at the downtrend, and we kind of do the same. I already had this, so I already charted that on my own, but just to show you guys. So here we basically kind of have the same thing going on here. This was an accumulation before we had more of a push down. Okay. So this being an accumulation before a push down is a significant area. If we go and we do our if we chart, if we want to see the value area of this balance, so basically you want to see a balance is basically like what I'm doing right now. These things are in balance. Okay, they're pretty much in balance, overlapping right here. Okay, and this sent us down. So I want to see what's going on here to here. Okay. And if we look at that, it so happens to be this previous balance here. So I just drew this line, right? For this balance. Okay. And then we've got this balance here is significant because this balance took us down to here. Okay. So just put in the low. Just put in a low. This accumulation zone. Okay. Pay attention to accumulation zones. These places of balance where the market is accumulating, it's really important. Like these levels are significant because this is where institutions are filling up their positions. So these levels where they accumulate and then they reject or they continue on are pretty damn important. So if we, let me erase this SVP. Okay. So now we've got this is one, right? So this was the balance of the sell-off right here. This is your CPOC, and this is your value area high. Well, this is a second sig, so this is your second standard deviation. So we gapped up, and look where they come. Look where they came. You guys see this? I want you guys to see this right here. Okay. You guys see that? Do you guys?
Yeah.
Who in here thinks that's a coincidence?
Yeah.
Or that just you got lucky that time that it happened to line up. That's significant. Okay. Again, I preach and I'll keep preaching to you guys. If you need to have multiple reasons why something is happening or why you're going to take a trade. So one of the reasons here is we're putting in, what are we putting in here? Anybody care to answer? What are we putting in? Yep, higher high, higher lows. So what is that? That's considered a what? We are trending up. Okay, we're trending up. We took this guy out that left singles here. We took him out as well as all these guys here. Okay, this was the zone that we had established earlier, and if you go back and look at my tab, this was a level that we were making money off of over and over and over again. As you can see here, they broke it here, but then we took it again here. We kept making money off this level. We're putting in higher highs, so we are, and at a minimum, we're in a correction. If not, we are in an uptrend. It depends. It depends on what you look at. Like right here, technically we broke these, so we're still in a downtrend, but we're in a correction, pullback, whatever you want to call it. But as of now, we had market structure being broken, so we had a change of character, and we're putting in higher highs. Okay, so that's one reason right there. Another reason is we gap up over our level. We gapped up over our level that we've been shorting at. Okay. That's reason number 2. Reason number 3 is we've got this balance and we're right at it. So we're inside of this balance value area. So this is what you were asking. This is kind of the lingo that you were asking about. I don't know if she's still on or not. Who was that was asking me that? I don't think she's on anymore. But this was this is our value area low, VAL, right here, of this previous balance. So we gap up into it, and then on top of that, we had our balance being here for this most current week. Okay, this was our sig, our second sig at 57.37.50 here. Okay, so who's that? I think Chantel, or however you say that. Your mic is hot. Give me a second. Okay, just muted him. So this trade right here is basically like a very, very, very small, a very small risk. What I do on these types of trades, the way I trade this type of setup, where the risk, my zone is all the way down here, and that's too much of a risk for me to take. I'm not gonna enter this trade and have my stop loss down here. That would be a good way to lose all your money, blow your account. The way I'm going to trade this is like that. So I'm either going to wait for them to give me a pullback, which they did here, and I'm going to put my stop below here, or I'm going to put my stop below here. So I don't want them to break this SIG from this most current balance, okay? So this essentially was a 2-point stop. If you took it here on the open, if not, it would have been say you entered, it would have been like a 2-point stop as well here, somewhere around here. That would have been about a 2-point stop here, maybe 41. Yeah, about. So you could do that. You could say I don't want them to break below this this SIG right here. I don't want them to break below it, or I don't want them to break below it. So if they came back into this, if I get stopped out here, it doesn't matter, guys. It does not matter. If you take small losses, if you guys can't get over taking a loss just because you're emotional over it, or because you start getting frustrated or whatever, or your ego, then the trading might not be for you, or you need to work on that. If you can't work on it and you're like 6 months, a year in, and you're still getting pissed off about taking like a $50 or $100 loss or whatever, a 2-point loss, then I don't know, maybe you need to do some meditation, or I don't know, something. Because the risk here was so small that, I mean, it's almost dumb not to take this type of trade. It really is. I mean, this one is kind of trickier. I understand that because this gap, and people have to get over the mentality they have, but or maybe your charting isn't like as advanced yet, so maybe you wouldn't have seen all this stuff right now, and you're learning right now. But once you guys start learning how to chart well, then you have to trust your charting. You have to trust your levels. Like today, we had this, and we
also had a lot of good news too.
Yeah, we had a lot of good news today, as well as we had a break of the IB. Okay, so a lot of breakout traders, and that's why I am the opposite of a breakout trader. I am the trader that wants to have. The way I do it, or the way I trade, is trade location. So I don't want to break out. I don't know if Scott is on right now. I don't know if he's on or not? Is he on? Yeah, you're on, Scott. Scott earlier, and I'm not trying to pick on you, but this is an example. I think I remember Scott having a short entry somewhere around here. And that is a breakout. That's being a breakout trader. Okay? You don't want to be a breakout trader. Because a lot of times they will do that, right? They'll break a level, and you could be right. I mean, maybe we go all the way down here. But what they'll do is they'll do what they did here. Exactly what they did here. So they'll give you a nice break, right? And a lot of people, there's like a methodology where people like YouTube videos. I'm sure if you click breakout trading strategy, you'll get like 100 videos saying that it's the holy grail, that breakout strategies are where the money's at. And that's what. And this is where I would be taking profit, or I would be having. This is where my runner comes in. And a lot of you guys asked earlier in the chat if I was still short. And that's why I answered it. It was my runner. Okay, so I secure profits at a probable level, and then I let a runner just run, and I'll let that do the work for me. So I'll let that be my breakout. I'll let that runner, that one contract. If it goes, it goes, and if it doesn't go, then it doesn't go. It doesn't matter. I already made money. Does that make sense? Same thing here. If you're a breakout trader, if you're one of those people that wants IB to set and then you wanna go with the break of the IB, you got clapped right here. Okay. And we were short here. I was telling everybody that this was our short level. Okay. And we
Later.
yeah.
So I was looking back at my chart to see how you got that zone. I had a zone like similar to yours, but it was a little bit lower than that, and it broke through my zone because of the. When I was short, and I got a fucking cook because my zone was off, but yours hit to a T. So I was looking behind, like back, and trying to figure out where you got that zone. So that was kind of my question, like, where did you go back to look for that zone? Because I couldn't really find it.
Let me see. I'll look right now. Like I'm bad at like knowing it. Well, I just don't label them. You know what I mean? Like I just have my zone. I'll look right now. I'll give you an answer right now. Give me a couple minutes and I'll give you an answer where I got it from. I'll have to go back and look myself because I probably forgot it. Yeah. You're gonna have to turn up your mic. Yeah, yeah. No problem. Yeah, yeah. So today, I'll tell you exactly what I did today. So today, I don't know if you remember, I called this short. I told everybody I was short right here, literally right here at the very tippy top. I said we're short here at open, and this is the same thing what I'm talking about. People that there's not a perfect time to trade either. Like people that say that you need to wait for IB to be set, that's bullshit. People that say you need to wait for IB to be broken, that's bullshit. You need to trade your levels. Levels are levels. That if so I had a level here. On footprints, I identified some aggressiveness coming in around here. And so this gave me a little bit more confidence to enter short here. Again, this is kind of the same thing that we talked about on the gap up over here, that the risk is so small, right? The risk was so small here because the stop I had here was here, right? So this is kind of gonna answer your question. Um, Whenever it's wide, you can do like 2 or 3 things. So if you guys are trading futures or if you're trading options, which if you're trading options, I recommend you hop over to futures, but that's another story. Um, if you want to take this type of trade here, maybe if you normally trade 2 ES contracts, which would be $1,000, right? Maybe trade 1 ES contract, right? Because your stop is wider. Okay. So you could play this differently. So if you're trading MES, which is the micro contracts, and you're charting, or I mean you're trading 4 micros, maybe drop it down to 2, or maybe enter 1 here, and maybe enter another 1 here, and maybe you enter another 1 here. You could play that differently. With it being that you still have to respect your stop. So if you're adding, you have to know when to add to, I wouldn't call this averaging down. I would call this like managing risk, because I'm not averaging down in the sense that like I'm just going to let this ride, which Runts is on right now, and I see him always, him and my guy Dropper, they do that a lot, and he's a good trader. But that is not a good way, in my opinion. That's not a good way to trade. So this needs to be cut here. If you're gonna add, right, you're adding with the intention or with the plan that this is gonna be your stop. Period.
Cool.
Right. And so if it's wide, go size down. If it's or wait for them to do something like this, which is exactly what we did this morning. I saw this, and so I just waited for them to creep back up here. They did. I saw a nice accumulation. This is an accumulation, guys. Small, but these candles right here are an accumulation. Okay, so they accumulated here a little bit, and they instantly sliced down. We made bank on this. And I told you guys we were targeting 19, and that's exactly where they went. So I took that, I cut one of them, and I left the runner.
What do you
Yes,
think we'll finish up on this plan this week?
Chantel, yes, that yeah, you can take. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, you can take full profit. So this is where you guys have to, and this is kind of goes on to the same thing that I'm talking about now. You have to manage your risk. So if you get anxiety being in a trade all day, if you're newer, and you're let me, I can unmute you. Your mic was just hot, so. Yeah, if you're newer and like you can't handle pullbacks, or they give you anxiety, or they're leading to you having bad trade habits, then yeah, go ahead and take full profits here. But this is the thing. Then you don't need to be trying to re-enter. Okay? That's a problem with a lot of people. They'll take profit, and for some reason, again, my guy Runts over here, keep picking on you. I see you guys like enter a trade, take profit, and then 10 minutes later, where's the play at? Or I'm gonna take another short, or I'm gonna take another long. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what's going on with that? Why'd you do that? That doesn't make any, other than the fact that you're being, when you do that type of stuff, you're being 100%. You're gambling. You're being emotional. You're being impatient, and you're gambling. So if you guys want to gamble in the markets, you're gonna lose your money. I can tell you that right away. So here I left a runner, right? And this goes back to what I was telling Electric City over here. That this was still my area. So I added a contract here. So I held a little bit of uh, I held some red here. I held red. I held red, but I wasn't sweating it. I was not sweating it at all. One reason being is that I locked in nice profit here, so I was already up a nice amount, and so basically, if this went red on me all the way, I was gonna still be up on the day. I wasn't gonna be up much, but I was still gonna be green on the day. So I really wasn't sweating it, and plus I trust my levels. Um, Plus we had a 50% extension of this IB being here, so that gave me even more confidence to hold this. Once I saw IB set and I saw that 50% there, we tend to always, not always, but we tend to get rejections a lot at these 50% extensions. So that gave me more confidence. So I added another short here, and it played off. It played out beautifully. Again, played out perfectly. So this is the thing where I say if you guys can't handle drawdown, if you can't handle being up a lot of money and then being down, then you need to take full profits here, or you need to walk away. So a thing that helped me out at the beginning was that I would place trades that helped me out. Like once I started to realize that I was pretty good at charting, and my levels were actually hitting, and the problem was that I personally wasn't letting them work out. Like it was my own fault, my emotions. Um, what I started doing was placing trades and walking away and waiting for the alert. So I started waiting to get alerted basically that my order was filled, and so that would either be some days I would get stopped out and I would get all my money back, or some days, most days, once you get good at charting, most of your levels are gonna hit. In my tab, I think I've literally been wrong like once or twice. And the call outs that I give, I mean, I literally been wrong a few times. Maybe out of 20 times, I'll be wrong like shit, 2, 3, 4 times. I mean, they're working out like a lot of times, like 60, 70, 80% of the time. My trades are working out. And they were doing that before too, but the problem was me. I was the problem. I wasn't letting them work out. So that's something that you guys could maybe try out is entering your trade chart, enter it, and walk away. Just go ahead and walk away. If you're to take profit as far away, then maybe you could have a price alert set here, and analyze what's going on. Like here, we had all this chop, and so that lets me know that this is not wanting to go down. This is struggling. When you're chopping like this, it's struggling. Same thing kind of here, guys. So you'll see this when you're drifting down like this. That's what you want to see. This is another reason why this was a good trade. When you see this kind of drift, that's beautiful. When you're trying to take a long off, yeah. Somebody say something.
Where do you see the SPY ending at this week?
So here SPY needs to get over this area. ES needs to get over this area. So ES is SPY. They move right along with each other. They literally move tick for tick the same exact way. So SPY's not going to do anything until we get over this area.
What numbers are those? Like if you had to translate that to
SPY, I think, is going to be. Let me see. SPY. This is still SPY. Let me see on ES. So we need to see 577 get taken out completely. I want to see I want to see them come in with volume, with aggressiveness.
And if we do that, you think we can get to 585 and we'll break 577?
So something like this. Wait for a pullback and take it long. So this is where your next target would be. So somewhere 579, 580, somewhere around there. 579,
So
580.
577, you think we'll get to 580?
Yeah. 579 is your most probable. So this is where you could target. You could trim one here, trim one here, trim one here. You could wait here or here. I don't want to tell you how to.
So if we break 579, or if we break 577.
Yeah, if we break 577 and hold here, and we hold this zone right here, so this would be like 576 and change.
576. That's what we are. What? No, we're not.
So like 576, right around here. So if we break up 577 and we hold like this area right here, 576.50 ish.
576. We curled up today.
This should run up to here. But with you options people, I mean, I don't know if you have time or not. So holding those contracts, Sata's gonna eat at them. So yeah, I mean, you could trim here, you could trim here. We're probably going to get here, but we could definitely reject right around here. I've got this SIG, and I don't even remember where it is or why it's there, but I know it's there. So this could be a potential.
What is the top of that chart? 588. What is this?
581. 581.
So that'd be 581 on the spot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, top of this zone that I have is 581. Yeah, so I would not be holding above here.
Above that.
I mean, I would not be holding really into this because we can reject.
We can reject it.
Exactly.
From the 576.
We can reject. Yeah. So this zone to this zone.
Where's the bottom of that chart right there?
This is like 576 and change, like probably like 576. I can show you.
That's where we are right now on the SPY. We're at 576.
Let me see here. Yeah, this would
That's from that curl up.
Yeah, this would basically be like 576.07 area, somewhere on there.
Because
So
we hit a low of 573, and I thought we were gonna go to the downside, but it curled all the way back up to 576. Struck me out today.
573.
Yeah, that's where I thought we were gonna go lower, but then they just curled up because all the good news about the tariffs and
Yeah. Well, yeah, and so let's see here. Let me get rid of this shit balance. Let me get rid of this. And so, when you guys were looking for trim areas, and this is something that I messed up on today, guys. I was running late, and this was my fault. I did not give this level out, and see, we all make mistakes. Even I do. Even Shorty, even Rockets, all of us. So, we had that there in ETH session, and then RTH session also. So we had this right here, this LVN with this nice big ledge here, okay. And I called out that we were gonna go probably here if we broke this. We easily could have. They just didn't want to. They just didn't initiate it today. They were just buying this up like crazy. They tried and tried and tried and tried. I mean, you can see we tried here, they bought it up. We tried here again, bought it up. They tried here, bought it up. They just kept buying it up. And sometimes they'll do that. And that's why I tell you guys that levels are levels, and that's what matters in trading are levels.
And those zones, what are you using to find them? Is that GPO? Is that the SIGs?
Well, this right here is volume profile. Oh, this was the LVN in this volume profile. But sometimes, yeah, I'll use footprint. Sometimes I'll use volume profile. Sometimes I'll use TPO. Sometimes I'll use volume profile and TPO together. So just a mix of different things. But in this specific scenario, it was this LVN with this ledge being here, this nice little ledge. And again, this is another example, guys, of why you don't want to be a breakout trader. If your strategy is to be a breakout trader, well, you're gonna get fucked. Because if your strategy was, man, if they break this ledge right here, this is gonna dump. I'm gonna go ahead and enter shorts here at the break of this ledge because they took this LVN out and they broke the ledge. Well, look what happened. You would have been in profit for about 5 seconds, and then they would have done this to you. So a breakout strategy is probably the worst strategy. If I had to give out the worst strategy, well, the worst strategy is what a lot of you guys do. What a lot of retail does in general, thousands and thousands of retail traders, is just hopium. It's just they wake up in a bad mood, they're going puts. If they wake up in a good mood, they're going into calls, and or the market's gone too high, and so I need to enter puts, or the market's gone too low, and so I need to enter calls. That's what I call that hopium strategy. That gambling strategy.
So here's my question. I guess it's the $1,000,000 question. So as we improve with our levels, like what do we use to determine what may happen at a particular level? Like how soon do you chart the zones and say, hey, this is going to be reject or this is going to be support? Like for me, I can chart the same zone and I won't know what the hell is going to happen there. And I think that's what a lot of us are eager to learn. Maybe not in school, but at least in the future. Maybe if you just touch on it a little bit.
Yeah. So, that's kind of you really don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, you really don't. That's kind of why I keep it simple, and I say that if we're below it, I'm shorting, and if we're above it, I'm in calls. You really don't know because institutions are the ones that have to decide what they're going to do here. And they can decide that this is deemed unfair value, and they can deem that we're going to go and search for sellers here. They can decide that. We don't know they're going to decide that. You get what I mean? Like, so this is why I say that my way of trading is if we are below here, if we're coming into it, I'm shorting, and if we're below and if we're coming to it, I'm gonna take a long. I don't really know if they're gonna respect this or not. Does that make sense?
So what's the top of that chart? Like what's the number on the top of that chart?
On top of where?
Of that orange of that orange box right there, that first one on top of that. No, underneath that one. That one.
This one here?
So you said no, the one you said you're short at. So is that 576?
Yeah, this was 576 today.
So what you're saying is if it gets to 576, that's when you'll start shorting? So what you're saying is that you think we'll be overbought at 576?
I don't believe in overbought or oversold. RSI, I call that the really stupid indicator. The market can't be overbought or oversold. It just can't. It just can't. I mean, you're not gonna know if it's overbought or oversold. Because
What made you put that box right there? Like what?
charting, my chart, my levels, these are the levels that I have basically by doing what I've been teaching or going over right now. I think Alan cut out.
Looking at how where the price has been rejected before, or where it bounced before, and that could become a rejection or bounce point or resistance. So with time and your sharing, you will be noticing more and more those levels, and you will be more likely to see the most probable scenario. That's what Gator does.
Yeah, exactly what he said. The way I mean to simplify it to really keep it as simple as I can. Basically, um, I identify where I deem to be institutions where I basically think that institutions are trading at, um, and that's what I pay attention to. So
So based on their chart, you're saying that 576 is the type, and you should short from there.
yeah, we shorted here. We shorted here twice. So we shorted here.
576.
Yeah, we shorted here today and we made a lot of money, and then we shorted here today and we made a lot of money again. So we made a lot of money twice today. We shorted here and we shorted here. I entered this short because of some stuff I saw in footprints, and because also we were up close to my level, um, and because we were net long, so I was looking for them to rebalance. So this is why we shorted, or yeah, I called this short out, and so people took it with me, I think. So we made here,
So
and
that chart still stands for tomorrow?
yeah, oh yeah, levels, my levels, unless they get, and this is why I say that unless it gets broken. Who's that? Is that Jose? Somebody's got a lady talking in the background. So yeah, this still stands, and as you can see right here, whoever just asked that, what's going on right here? This is the overnight right now. So if you guys trade, if you guys trade futures, this is the beauty of trading futures is that you can make money. Levels are levels, whether it's 9:32 p.m. my time, or the New York, or the Asian, or the London.
That's basically supply and demand, right?
I mean, kind of, yeah. Yes.
Manipulation.
Right now, given where it's at and it's in that orange zone, would you get into a call based on what you're seeing?
Yeah, I would call this right here.
Based on the time, right?
Yeah, I would be in calls here. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take a call right here. Actually,
What is that? What number is that? Like if you had to translate that to the spot.
Yeah.
That where you're buying the call from.
Give me 1 second. Let me enter this trade real quick. Give me one second. Sorry guys. Okay. So this is I mean, on SPY, I don't know exactly where this is. On SPY, this is.
Is it the low of today, 573?
No. This is. So this is today. This is today. This is the high and this is the low today. So this is today. This is the high and this is the low. So let's go ahead and chart our value areas for today.
So you don't think it'll go back down to the low today?
It could, but as of right now, I've got this level here, and we peaked below it, and so I'm the opposite of a breakout trader. Like I said, I love to see a peak below and take it long, like in this area, or a peak above and take it short. So here we peak below.
So that's your bottom.
For right now. And so if I take a loss right now and they slice down, then I'll be looking for that scenario. But as of now, I'm taking this long.
Would you move that box down if it does go to the basement?
No, this is my box right here.
Oh, that's the base.
Yeah, this is the basement right here.
So
So
that's like the.
if we come down to here, this is where I'll be looking for calls.
So what about that middle box right there between the large ones?
The-
Did you say that's a buying zone too?
Yeah, this is something I saw on footprints. That I identified on footprints. That was a level of interest here. So that's why I have it there. It's not as important as these two. But since we're there and we peek below it, fuck it. I'm gonna take a stab at it. If I take a loss, oh well. I really don't care.
So we get
Why would you
flushed
be
down.
looking for calls further down?
Do what?
Why would you be looking for calls? I guess in this middle bar that you have second from the bottom.
This one right here?
No, the one lower.
Here?
Like the demand.
Yes.
Because this is where these institutions they took us higher here. So so remember, institutions are the ones that have all the money. Think about it this way. Think about it this way. iPhones came on sale here, okay? And some guy has a shitload of money, and he bought his phones down here, okay? And right here he took the price up. Now, when it comes back to his level, to where this person here, okay, where this guy here said we're going higher, do you think he's gonna defend that or not?
Yeah, definitely he's gonna want to defend it.
Exactly. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like defending your house or defending whatever. Like if this is important to you, then they should defend it. And so if they don't defend it, then that's telling you that what? If they don't defend this level,
Down to your next level.
that's telling you that this guy either took profit all the way here, he's out, so this guy is no longer here. Does that make sense? So what I expect, and this goes again, Abe, is basically telling you that this goes to the question you asked earlier, is like, how do I know? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be here or not. I don't know. But he should be here. He should be here.
There's a likelihood that he'll be here.
Yep. And more than likely, he will be here. More than likely.
Okay.
So I'd say you could say there's a 60% chance, 70% chance that he's going to be here. And even let's say it's a 50% chance he's going to be here. And if your risk to reward is on point, if you can be patient and have a good risk to reward and enter this trade at a good price, at a discount price. So if this comes all the way down to here, a lot of people won't take it, or if it comes below and reclaims it, I'm taking this trade. And my trade location is going to be really, really small. Or my risk is going to be really small. My trade location is going to be about as good as you can get. And so if I have those things on point, if I have my risk to reward locked in, and there's a 50-50 chance that this guy is here, again, if you don't take that trade, then what are you doing? Like, this is the trade.
I guess for me, and I don't want to hug it, but since I have your ear, so if it was heading down towards this call level, do you wait until it hits that level to take a call, or do you short the right down and take a call the right up?
Yeah, I'll short. Yeah, I'll take this short, depending on where we. This was my plan for today. I said we could potentially go to 597. So I was short, expecting them to potentially go here. That's why I announced, or that's why I said to trim at, I think it was 19 or 15. I think it was 819 or 815. I can't.
19. I remember there 19.
Okay. Yeah, so this is why I said trim here, because this is more probable, and I'm going to leave a runner expecting maybe us going down to here. Okay, but again, I screwed up and I didn't realize that we had this LV in here on, especially on RTH. I didn't see that. So and I said in the chat, if you pay attention to the chat, I said I don't know if you remember or saw it, but I said if they lose 8-10, they're gonna come down, and they peaked below it and reclaimed and ripped, and it was here, right here. They lost it by yeah they lost it. They lost it exactly, but sometimes you gotta know, just like when you break IB, when you break your initial balance, you know, a lot of times you will run, but you have to be subjective and know when that 80% rule, when you get really good at trading, you'll know when that 80%, when you're in that 20% of that 80% rule. Does that make sense? You'll start to know, like, okay, you know, we're in the value area, and you know the 80% rule exists, but I think this time is going to be that 20% of the time where we don't break it, where we don't have the 80% rule play out. Does that make sense? But that comes with time, guys. Like that comes with time. You need teaching. You need more basic teaching and time. And these types of classes, we need to have them a few times, so that, remember, you can't retain all the information one time. So a lot of these classes can be repetitive, but they need to be.
Gator, can you talk about the minis and the micros like you were saying earlier today?
Yeah, so a mini is gonna be 1/10 of a full contract. So a full contract is $500. So one ES contract is $500 per contract. That's what you pay for it. So so if I buy one ES short, if I'm short one ES, that's $500 that I'm short. Okay, and so. And this is why I tell you guys on your combines, if you're going to do prop firms, do not trade ES, especially if you don't know what you're doing. That's a full contract, okay? And just to kind of put it into perspective here, if you entered this box right here at this, at the initial touch, this is 7.5 points. So you would be, this is 75%. So basically, you would be down here almost. What is that? Somebody help me do the math here. Like 350. Yeah, 375, I think. So you would have lost $375 if you had your stop there. If you don't respect your stop and you keep letting it ride, well, guess what? Here you're down $500. You're down 10 points is $500. So each point it moves is 10% of your contract. Okay, and so like here on this trade we called out earlier, or that I called out today. Am I on ES? Why does this look different? What's going on here? Something looks different here. Oh, I'm on the 30-minute. Okay, I was like, what's going on here? So this trade that I called out earlier on ES, we entered right around here. Let's see if this will work out. So we entered right around here, and our stop was above here. Okay, I think I entered at 31 or 32, somewhere around there. Let's just call it 31.50 to split the difference. This is a 2.5 point stop. So I was risking 25%, and I said to trim at 819. So this was a oh, that's the opposite. What am I doing? Sorry guys, I'm running out of juice. 831.50. Our stop was here. Okay, and we were trimming at 19. So we were risking 2.5 points to make 12.5 points. Risk to reward ratio is 5. The higher you can get this is trading. Probabilities and your risk to reward. If you guys can do this, it's literally impossible to not be profitable in the market. Impossible.
So Gator, when you start off, you're starting off with one, and if you see it going in your direction, you're adding until you get to your the price you're trying to get to, correct?
No, I will add on pullbacks. So if I'm if like this was a perfect ad right here, and I remember thinking this, but I was busy making I was busy slinging them tacos, man. I got a restaurant, and today was Taco Tuesday, so they were making me sweat today, boy. But right here, I glanced at it really quickly, and I was gonna call it out, but I did not have time. We were too busy. But this is where I would have added, or I would have called it out. If you're not short already, this is the short. So if I see a short setup and I'm already short up here, which I was, this is where I would add. I won't add down here. That would be dumb, right? So yes, I'll add, but the context is that I'll add on a pullback. Does that make sense? So you want to add, yeah.
I got you.
If you want to add, yeah, I that's actually good. If you add to your winners, that's how you make even more money. The problem with a lot of you guys is you add to your losers, aka you average down. So you're taking drawdown like crazy, and you're adding to that drawdown, which is the highway to losing money. And so to answer that question, whoever asked that, so that's one ES. Now micro is a tenth of that. So that same trade would be 2.5 point 25%. So what you would be risking 10, like $100, no, $10, like $10-12 on this trade. If you trade one micro, so it's 1/10 of the price. So each contract is 50 instead of 500. It's 50. So here you would have been risking like $12 or $15, say, and you would have made 50 on this trade. So you risk less and you make less. But the thing is, like, I recommend a lot of people that are starting out trading futures is to stick with micros and don't do more than 4. I say to most people to trade 2, so that would be $100. So you'd be in for $100. So if you have a 3-point stop, you're risking $30. Does that make sense? So that's the difference between micros and minis. Minis are your full contract, and micros are 1/10 of the minis.
So even if you have the perfect setup, you're not gonna go full in, even if you have the perfect setup, right?
No, if I have a perfect setup, I'm going in 4 contracts, 4 full E mini contracts. So I'll go in with $2,000. If I have like a setup where it's like a 2-point stop, yeah, if I have like a setup where it's a 2-point stop and I see something real juicy, yeah, I'm gonna go in heavy. You got to capitalize on. You got to know when to capitalize on moves, but you don't want to do that until you're profitable, until you can start, until you like actually start seeing consistency in your trading. Because when you add that type of stuff, like where you add another variable, basically what you're doing there is like, okay, now you have to stop and think. Do I go in with one? Let's say trading micro. Do I go in with one micro contract, or do I go in with 4 micro contracts? You're adding more thought process, so you're burning more calories, and you're gonna have more of a chance for you to make a mistake. Why? Because you'll start second guessing yourself, like, oh, damn, what if I go in for, and what if I'm wrong, and what if, you know what I mean? So I recommend when you're first starting out is to keep the same size no matter what, at all times. So whatever your size is, whatever you're gonna trade, stick to it. If you're starting out with trading your combine, trading futures, And that's another thing about futures. Just another reason why futures is better than options, because options the prices vary. Futures, every single contract is either if you're trading ES, micros are $50, minis are $500. Your point is 10%. Each point is 10%, and that's it. That's all. That's all it is. You get what I mean? You don't have to think about anything else. You don't have to think about delta, theta, nothing. The price is the price, the level is the level, and that's it. No, you don't have to worry about theta, none of that. So that's another reason why futures
So
is.
you'll stick in your play for over a couple hours then
Dude,
if need be.
dude, I've been in a play for 7 hours, 8 hours. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. I'll let that puppy ride. Today I was in this trade. I entered this trade at I think it was like 8:10 when I called this out, or 8:05, 8:20. What time is it? Yeah, 8:15, 8:20, somewhere around there. I called this out, and I trimmed one at 19, and then I added another one here, so I got a little bit of drawdown here, but I wasn't worried. And so essentially I was in this trade from like 8:15, 8:20, all the way up until about right here. I think I sold out. So I was in this trade for a few hours. I was in this trade a few hours. And I don't have to worry about uh, theta. If I don't take profit here, and I have this pullback and it comes here, guess what? I'm still in profit at the same amount. If you're doing options, say you're up 500, now you're down here, you're up 300. Instead of 500 here, now you're up 300. So you lost $200 to theta. So for you guys that aren't trading futures, I mean, seriously, I don't know what you're doing. If you're trying to trade for a living or trying to trade for a second income, and not only that, but taxes are way more favorable on futures. You pay less taxes trading futures than you do trading options. So there's like literally pretty much no reason to trade options. Unless you want to trade Tesla, or I like trading Tesla. When I trade options, that's what I trade. I trade Tesla. And Tesla is like a money printer for me. I make a lot of money trading Tesla. So let's see here. Let's try to wrap this up, guys. I gotta go hang out with the kiddos for a little bit. So this is our let's see. This is gonna be our value area for today. So anybody see kind of what's going on? What's happening here? Anybody want to take a guess, or what's happening here? Just looking at these value areas. Let's hide these. Just looking at value areas.
Participation got slim today.
Yep, that's a good clue. Anybody else?
Value has been shifting upwards.
Yep, it's been shifting upwards.
POCs at the bottom.
POCs at the bottom. Okay, yeah, these are all good.
It looks like it wants to consolidate for a little bit.
Okay.
They're seeking for more buyers above.
So.
And also the value has been starting to compress.
Yeah, value. Yes, values. Yeah. So essentially, what's happening here is we had this balance. They couldn't take it above during regular, so they gapped it. Okay. Now, if you guys look at this value area, okay, this is 50 points. Okay. These are kind of similar. All these are pretty much similar, right? And you look at these, You guys see this? You guys see what's going on here?
Nope, looks like they're happy trading that zone.
So we've got a 50-point value area. Here we've got a 21 point, so less than half. And then we've got a 13 point, pretty much almost half of this half that's less than this half. So we are definitely compressing. This is what, guys, for bulls? Good or bad?
Bad for bulls.
Bad for bulls. Their
Bull trap.
directional performance is not very good here. Directional performance is not very good. This, you want to see a little bit more strength, and then you got this shit structure. Not good. This is really not good. This needs to be cleaned up some. So tomorrow, same thing happens. Now we want to pay attention though, because this is gonna be telling tomorrow. Okay. Now, what I do like that we did today is that we did break below here, right? So they did peak below it. So that's showing a little bit of weakness. Oh, look at that. See, this is why I tell you guys not to be worried about, not to be scared of taking these trades. Look, I'm up on this trade. A little bit, but I'm up. It looked like it was about to dump, and yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that all day. So this is strong, right? So this is like a zone for me. Okay, got this ledge here, HVN with the POC that happens to be here, all stacked together with the LVM below. Okay, they peak below it. So this is going to be telling for us tomorrow. This is going to be telling for us tomorrow right here. Okay. If we reject here tomorrow, depending on where we open, if we open up somewhere around here, below here, and we come into this, I would not mind taking this short at all. Targeting here. Okay. So if we open up somewhere around here tomorrow and do this, and then come into here, and possibly even a peak above, and come back into it, yeah. This is where we're gonna go tomorrow, if that happens. Now, again, we're just gathering clues. Well, that's all we're doing as traders. We're gathering clues. That's all we can do. We can't do much more than that. We're trying to gather and see what they're doing here. Okay, so this is an important level, guys. Still, we're still there. You guys can keep in mind that we've got our SIG here. So we've got these two SIGs here. We've got this SIG from this balance still here. This is our second SIG. So this would basically be, if we come in and we open here, we've got a few things telling us that this is a very key area here. Okay, so we've got this stacked area right here. We've got a compression. Okay, so we've got compression on the run up. Our value area is getting lower and lower. Directional performance is weakening. Okay, and then we've got this SIG here of this balance that took us lower. So this to me can indicate that these people, institutions, banks, BlackRock, I don't know if you guys know, but I work for BlackRock. That's why I hardly ever miss. So BlackRock and I, we've been accumulating here. So they're right here at our level. So this to me indicates we've got this and this also. So this is looking juicy for a short. For a short tomorrow. Depending on where we open, I'll be able to give you guys a more exact trade location. But this is looking good. Now, if we open up here, if we slice this, then like I said, these guys are weak sauce, and we're gonna need to go and test this balance. We're gonna need to go and test this accumulation. Here, right around this area. So this is where we're gonna come and test. Let's check out. Last thing we'll do before we hop off of here. Let's see, RTH.
Hey Gator, man, I appreciate you doing all this. It's really helpful.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to help you guys out some.
First, I thought you were bullish, and then you said you were buying short. You just threw me off right there.
No, man, you threw me off. I'm like, is this guy? He's a chef. He works for BlackRock. Like, he actually is a chef. I'm like, bro, this is crazy.
Dude, it's funny too. Yeah, man, I'm everywhere, bro. And dude, yeah, and I'm a high school dropout, and I'm a Mexican, and I'm over here trading the market. Like, what is going on, bro? I should be too dumb to do this, but here I am. Yo, and the funny thing is, bro, that I literally typed into Google. Like, I'm tired of being in the restaurant business. I shit you not, I typed into Google how to make a lot of money and not work, and the stock market came up, and I said, well, I better buy some books, and here we are. Now I'm teaching you guys. Ain't that a crazy turn of events? So basically, I say that to say you can do anything you put your mind to. It don't matter if you drop that high school or not. Bro, I might do it, man. I might do it. Okay, so we had this excess on TPO. Nice little excess. So we got 4 periods here. So these guys were not messing around. And I honestly, and this is and I remember this is today. Now that I see this, I remember that I had a limit order here, and I didn't get it. And I saw this happen, and so this is one of those rare occasions where I entered market. I entered market right here when I saw them start wicking here and all these wicks right here, and I saw this excess. I was like, yeah. In theory, they should not go.
What do you mean you entered market?
So I just hit market sell. So limit is that the price needs to come and cross through my order, so I could have, say I had an order, I did have an order here, so I would need price to come and touch it, but it didn't, and so I just hit market sell right around here. I just entered at bid at price. And so that's how the market moves. And yeah, like, this is just too much information. Like I said, we can, I could teach you guys a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to keep it as simple. So yeah, I saw this excess here, and so I entered market. I entered market right around here. Sometimes you gotta know when to bend your rules a little bit. So yeah, this is strong excess, guys. So if they break this is gonna tell me that at a minimum we should come at a minimum to here. If they take these guys out tomorrow, so this is good. You want to see this if you're for a bear case, okay? For bear case, remember we've got directional performance going down. We're coming up, and you want to see this excess on TPO. This is nice. This is a nice bear case right here. Okay, so depending on where we open tomorrow, we're gonna know what's going down. Now this is, notice we've got 2 value areas also here. So yeah, they need to really take these guys out. We need to see them not mess around, and we need to see some aggressiveness. If we see some aggressiveness come in here tomorrow, and this is what's his name, Mason or May, yeah, Mason. Don't get tied to a position. Like you said, I'm throwing you off. The reason I'm throwing you off is because I can tell that your bias. I don't know if you're already in a call. I don't know if you're swinging calls, or if maybe you're just have a tendency to trade on the bullish side. But I can tell that you want this to go here. That's what you want to happen. You got a little excited when I said we could potentially go here. So I don't know if you're already in calls or if you just trade on the bullish side, but the way I trade is if I trade again based off levels and based off what happens, not what I want to happen. So I'm perfectly okay with them slicing this up and taking calls, and I am also perfectly okay with them opening here and taking puts. I'm just trying to make money. So I don't give a damn if they go up or down. I just want to basically identify what they're doing.
Question. That
Go ahead.
that excess that you were showing before, that would be also a strong high, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is strong. This is excess. Yeah. So this was strength.
Okay.
They try to
Yeah,
come in.
I wanted to know if the strong high and an excess would be more likely the same thing.
Yeah,
I
basically.
find over.
And then if we go in and let me
So
look.
based on the chart, if it passes 576,
Yeah, if they take out today's high, then this is looking a little bit more probable. This, but you still have this to contend with here. So this would still be me being a breakout trader. So I want to see them break it, come back, and then take it long. I'm gonna enter long on the pullback. You can try to initiate here, or people could try to initiate here, but I'm good on that. So I want to see them take this out. Go ahead.
So what's the lowest more that you think we can get to?
So this is where I would be targeting here, right around here.
so let's say 576 is where you consider being towards like a bullish deal. So like, what do we have to go under for you to think that we're just gonna keep going down?
Well, you've got excess here also, so you're gonna have to keep this in mind. This happens to line up here with this area. You've got singles basically starting here. So if these guys get taken out, then there's a high probability that we come. We probably have some sort of a pullback here, but ultimately we're gonna end up filling the gap. That's when we will fill the gap if these guys get taken out. Okay, but as of now,
What is that? If you have to translate that, to the SPY, what is that gap to?
70 to what? 65, right? Or am I wrong? I think it's 70 to 65. Right here. I think this is a gap, no? Let me see here. I think that's the gap on ES. Yeah. Yeah, that's the gap right there. So, ultimately, we'll come down here. So that's it. The gap is on ES, on SPY here. Okay. It's going to chop around here. So we could reject here, somewhere around here. But ultimately, yeah, they should come and fill this gap if this gets taken out. Again, you you want to see strength happening with that. So, but yeah, Alan, this is definitely excess, and remember, it's even more valuable because it happened outside of balance. So it happened outside of these. It happened outside of this whole range. So it's pretty strong. So these guys basically said no more. They and I'm trying to find, what time is this? 9:50. Let me see on footprints. 9:50. Yeah, you got a completed auction. Yeah. Not as much as I would like to see, but still, um, this is going to be key for tomorrow too. So puts here I'll be in puts here. I'll be in puts. Here I'm gonna see how they react. Potential for calls here, targeting here. If we open up below it, puts targeting here. I'll tell you guys tomorrow. More.
Cool. Yeah, I was just gonna ask if you could put it in your specific section for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I'm struggling to.
Wherever, man. Wherever. I'll find it.
Yeah, no, like I said, yeah, I gotta hit the gym. I got about to be 6 kids, and I got a wife, a full-time job. It's I'm trying. Do what?
Gotta see God. Tacos.
Yeah, dude, I gotta. Yeah, man. Damn Taco Tuesday.
Orange box you drew for overnight. Where'd you get that?
This one right here was gonna. This is our. Okay, so let me share this real quick if you guys want to see this. Dan asked. Sorry, Dan. I got on a sidetrack. I don't know if he's even still on. Yeah, he's on. Let me see. Let me change. Let me change. Can you guys see my footprint chart now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. What am I looking for? Let's see here. What time is this? 2:55. Okay, here. I try. Like the last 30 minutes of the day, guys, is like not really good to. I don't recommend trading the last 30 minutes of the day. It just it's like they're filling in there. It's like they're trying to position themselves for either the Asia session or the overnight session or tomorrow's New York. So they're just trying to position themselves. So you'll get a whole bunch of just sporadic price action. But here we saw these heavy orders coming in. Right around here. So if you guys see this right here, how these are individual contracts. So you're talking about millions and millions of dollars. So like I said, this is us at BlackRock. This is us. You're not talking about one. I mean, these are contracts, guys. So I mean, do a multiplication of, let's say, just right here, 4,615, 5,034, and multiply that by the price of ES, which is $5,826 each one. I mean, you're talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, right? So, so this area becomes significant to me. Why is it significant? Anybody want to answer that question? Anybody want to take a guess?
But that's a level that's gonna be defended. It goes back to it.
Exactly. Because institutions are doing something here. I don't know what they're doing. Again, we cannot, even on footprints, executed orders. These are all executed orders. Every single one of these numbers is executed orders. Okay? This is your bid. This is your ask. We do not know if these are buyers or sellers. We don't know. We can take a guess. We could take an informed guess, a probable guess. But we don't know for 100% fact. If we could know, then we would be literally printing money. I mean, you would be a billionaire within a year. If you knew, okay, this is 100% a buyer, so I'm going to go ahead and go long here. I mean, it would be too easy. It would be like fishing in a barrel. It would be too easy. But so that's why I said, if we're below this level, I don't know if you can go back in the chat and check it out what I said. Depending on where we open, and that's what I'm telling you guys again right now for tomorrow. Depending on where we open, if we open up below here, what do you guys think this was? If we open up below here and we trade below it.
Sellers.
Exactly. And if we hold above it, if they defend this and they push prices higher, then that would be them buying. Either way, we know that this is an important key level. Okay. Pay attention to the volume. Okay. So what do you guys see here? This is the volume per candle. Contract traded per candle. Okay. 7,000, 6,000, 6,000, 11,000, 19, 12, 16, 23. Oh, look, 23. We pretty much doubled here. We're way above the average. Way above the average. Okay? I mean, we've got some 11s, but for the most part, we're right around that 7 to 11 area. 11 being pretty much the high. Okay? And then all of a sudden here, close to and this is and pay attention, guys. And this is why trading the last 30 minutes, I honestly don't like to even trade it, and I'm pretty much, I hardly ever trade the last 30 minutes anymore. When I used to be like my guy Runts, I don't know if he's still on, looking for that next play, man, I was fiending, bro. I would be trying to catch the last 5-minute candle. But now that I've matured a little bit in my trading, I don't even really like to mess with the last 30 minutes. And so this is exactly where this is 2:30. So this is the last 30 minutes here. And pay attention to what starts happening. You get a shitload of volume coming in. And look here, we got 23,000 on this one, and then we've got 53K. 53K here. Okay. And the meat and the potatoes of this was where? Right here. Okay. We're going to include this and this here. So we can include all this here. So that's kind of where I got that level from. And as you guys can see, now we can hop back over to here.
Peter, what app were you showing? What app is being displayed that shows the buyers and the sellers?
The white one, that's Quantower. So that's Footprints. Quantower is the name of it. It's pretty complicated to set up and to. I can help you guys if anybody wants to get it. I can show you guys how to set it up. But yeah, that's Quantower. So I use that specifically for Footprints. That's pretty much the only thing I use it for is Footprints. They've got Delta too, which is nice. That could be a discussion for another time. So here now, again, we're going back to this trading view chart. And let me get rid of this TPO. And so this is basically that 5 o'clock we open, we reject here, we pull back to it, and we go, they take it higher from there, they pull back close to it. Okay. And this is basically the high of that candle. So they pull up pretty damn near close to it. Now here we're slicing. We slice down. This is the low of that candle. They come in. They peek below the meat and potato, which is this area right here. They peek below it, and this is why I took that long, and I'm still in long. I've got my stop here, so if I might take a loss. It's okay. It don't matter. I'll trim somewhere here. I'll take profit here. And that's kind of the trade that I've got going on right now. So, and this is kind of that zone. This isn't 100% like, I don't recommend trading solely on Footprints. footprints are just like another. I use them as confluence. I use them as another reason for me to take a trade. Another thing to validate my thesis, my bear or bull case. Um, I don't just trade off of footprints. I did that when I first started learning footprints. I thought they were like the holy grail and that they were gonna, like this is the one thing that's gonna make me not ever take a loss again. Like we all fall into that type of mentality. We're looking for to not take losses. It's just like I don't know. It's just a human habit that we have. But we don't like rejection or whatever it could be. It's just something that we do. So, and that's what I thought footprints were. I was like, oh man, now that I know all the orders and I'm not going to take a loss anymore. And no. So, footprints are just like another piece of the puzzle, if you will. But yeah, I'm trying to giving you guys like the basic overview. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. So this is our levels of interest. This one is not so important. It's just a little overnight thing. But here.
Previous day, and I took the short break test.
Yeah, and that's not a bad one. That is not a bad retest at all. Now, if they take this up, if they take this out, and that's another thing that we can talk later on. Is like you're always going to get rejections at certain places. That doesn't invalidate your trade. And that's what a lot of people, a lot of newbies, they don't understand that. Like your trade is seldomly gonna do what it did here, and that it's so nice when it does it, but it's seldom gonna do that. It's always going to want to reject at a certain area. Um, so just keep that in mind, guys. Like it would be awesome for this to go straight, just one candle. Like, my profit, my let's just hypothetically say that this was your take profit. It would be so nice to have this, and that's what a lot of newbies want. They want this, just like, oh, okay, thank you, I'm done. That's not gonna happen. That's just not going to happen. It's seldomly ever gonna happen. That'll happen maybe like once out of 100 trades. It's gonna do this. There was probably something here, something, maybe a LVN, maybe a HVN, maybe something on footprint, something here that's gonna give this pullback, and then you're gonna take it higher again, and then there's something else that's gonna give us this, and it's gonna take it higher again, and then there's something. So this is what I'm telling you about. Like, trust your analysis, because the market has to do this. It would be unhealthy for a market to, and nobody would trade it. Think about it. Like if the market yo-yoed all day long, how many people would get shook out of the market? They would not trade it anymore. They have to do this. Like this is trade facilitation. Like this is just the way the market has to operate. So you guys need to get that in your head too, that the market is going to give you pullbacks. And once you start trusting yourself, like I was telling Jose, like I'll add on those pullbacks. And there was something here that I saw that made this be a nice entry, or would have been a nice entry short. And I'm pretty sure I was banking on this ledge being here, as well as this accumulation being here, and I might have been TPO. Spam blocks. Was it? No, it wasn't TPO. I forgot what it was, but I saw something that it might have just been that ledge being there. This HVN being here with this ledge. I think that's what it was, and then this rejection. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically it for today, guys. These are going to be our levels for tomorrow. So pay attention here and here. That's what we're gonna want to see where we open up tomorrow. That's gonna be like there, and that's what I was telling. Like here, I expected a rejection here. So if you can't hold that trade, then take profit there. And then we got this LV in here. So yeah, this could play out for you. If you're still in that short, I'm long, you're short. One of us is going to be right and one of us is going to be wrong. It is what it is. That's part of trading. But yeah, I'll post tomorrow in the chat. I'll probably like do a video or something, and I'll have that link. I'll have that link for the Discord on my YouTube for you guys that want to join and be a little bit more in depth on the learning. And I'll still be in Keenan's. I'll still be giving plays in Keenan just like I am now. I'll just basically just be transferring like the classes and stuff over there, and I'll be probably giving trading live. I'll try to trade live. Like I said, I got stuff to do in the morning and stuff like that, but I'll try to be on possibly before market opens a few days a week, and kind of go over the plan for the day or whatever. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Take it easy. Any questions before we hop off? Any questions, anybody? Go ahead and ask away. Nope. All right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow.